You've probably already watched Switch Out's video talking about how LeBron James off the court, the Lakers are better with him off the court than he is on the court. And you might think, okay, those stats are really not indicative of much. But I think it's honestly more than that. It's more than just plus minus and, his numbers being mostly empty calories. It's not as a result of the team being outscored. No, if you see AD's usage rate when they start winning games, as opposed to when they start losing games, and then you look at LeBron's usage rate as to when they start winning games and when they start losing games, you see a stark contrast. You see that when AD dominates the ball, they're a better team. When LeBron dominates the ball, they're a worse team. I don't even want to say this as a slight to LeBron because he's 39 years old and they're always going to bring it up to you that he's this old man and that really you shouldn't really fault him too much for how bad the team is with him on the floor. But then my problem is when you go and check what the media has to say, they basically act as if he's still the number one.
Is there enough left in the tank for him to keep carrying this Lakers team?
Well, he's not supposed to be carrying this team, and there's a lot of statistics that are going around showing the usage rate of Anthony Davis during the early 10-4 stretch, and then the usage rate of LeBron. They've kind of flip-flopped during this stretch. But when I look at LeBron, you look at the start of the season, he was in full defer mode. You look at the amount of triple-doubles that he was hitting, a career-high consecutive triple-doubles. So we have that, and then a couple weeks later, we have an individual that is struggling to shoot because the usage rate is so high. If you're talking about, and really the only person that you can compare it to at this point in time is Kareem. When Kareem was at this age, he had Magic Johnson, he had James Worthy, he had Byron Scott. He had a much more talented team around him. LeBron James needs help.
Then he goes on to talk about how LeBron, he does need a break, but he also needs help. Needs help. Why reframing it around the fact that LeBron is the one? Okay, he says, LeBron shouldn't have to carry the team, but it still is acting as if LeBron's the one that needs, AD needs help. Okay, he needs more out of LeBron James. And obviously, this will be all muddied by the agendas. LeBron at age 40 versus Michael Jordan at age 40. Just look at how much better LeBron James is than Jordan. Oh my gosh! They'll talk about the triple-doubles he had, like 4 straight games with a triple-double. But what they'll fail to mention to you is obviously his play on both ends, okay? Not just that, but obviously we've known about his athleticism deteriorating, but we also know about his turnovers being so high. People like JJ Redick have talked about how LeBron shouldn't really be playing 82 games, and that's because LeBron had made it an emphasis for him to play 82 games this season, probably to try to, up Michael Jordan's 82 game season with the Wizards. But now that he's having, the worst shooting slump in quite a while, all of a sudden the narrative or the framing of this is that LeBron needs a break. Okay, guys, he's in a slump right now, but he needs a break, as if he's not hurting the Lakers right now. And look, this isn't me trying to knock an old man down because I want to see the new guys shine. As much as I want to see those new guys take over the league, LeBron is still a name that draws millions at once every time he plays. But those same people are gonna have to realize this guy's averaged 5.2 turnovers a game the last 10 games that he's played, and obviously his legs aren't there. But that's really the worst of it. The part that I think a lot of people are missing is just the day-to-day stuff. Every time he plays, you can tell he doesn't give effort on the defensive end, right? Guys blow by him so much easier now than they used to. The stat with the plus minus, that matters. Stuff like that is indicative of how the team plays when you're on the floor, when you're not on the floor. And obviously, those same people, the Shannon Sharps and the Nick Wright, are going to tell you excuses like it's the Olympics, guys. He's just had too much of a schedule during the summer. Is it a coincidence that once LeBron started getting the ball more, the team started losing more games? Is it a coincidence?
You mentioned spacing without wanting to give away kind of what you do and what parts of it. Where do you agree with that, and what do you think about the spacing?
Everything. It's a little bit of everything. It's not just one area, but definitely spacing. Guys being on top of each other. We're not getting our running habits as we did early on, but it's a little bit of everything. It's not just one thing.
Geez, I wonder why the spacing has been so awful recently. Not like somebody's going 0 of 19 from deep the last 4 games. And I already know what the LeBron fans are going to say. AD had a bad game too. He's been awful these last couple of games. Okay, you want him to get the ball more? Just look how bad he's been. I mean, look, you're right about that. AD, he's not playing like he did in the first couple of games of the season. He fooled us yet again. He's not an MVP candidate. But let's be honest, he shouldn't be taking only 14 shots in the game. There should be a concerted effort in making sure this guy shoots at least 20 times a game. He, at this point, has to be their best player. Every game out, LeBron basically has to sacrifice a lot of the scoring numbers, a lot of those triple doubles he gets. He needs to make sure AD has the ball way more, okay? He needs to. And my point is, bro, even if LeBron scores 27 points in the game against the Miami Heat tomorrow, even if he gets another great game, is this the way they want their games to go, with LeBron having the ball and, they might win a game or two now, but LeBron James and this offense that he runs, obviously, he's getting much older. He's much more predictable as a player. We used to think of LeBron as this immortal dude that could never be touched. He looked like he wasn't a human. And now it's hard for many to believe that this might be their new reality, the new normal.
This LeBron last year, man, so all that...
Cap.
This is last year.
No.
If we don't give him his flowers, it's like we're not giving him enough flowers for him to just kind of like want to walk away. Like we gotta bring more flowers, because it's like, to me, it's hindering the game. The stats, the praise, like, we get it. And I'm going to give you flowers because you've done so much for the game. You can't take away the energy he's put in, the hard work he's put in, the blood, sweat, and tears. You can't defy the gravity that he's passed all these greats and he's done all this stuff for the game. You cannot ignore that stuff. But what we're seeing now is a diminishing of the game because a great player will not step aside so other players can be great.
This dude LeBron will continue to tell us that it's AD's team. AD needs to lead the team. But somehow, some way, it always ends up being him at the helm with the ball more in his hands as the season progresses. You have a case to make that AD should also take part of that responsibility as well. He should own up to getting more of the ball and not getting enough of it. That's part of his fault as well. But I'm just sick and tired of having to always, say platitudes when it comes to LeBron James. Oh, he's done this so much. Oh, he's only 40, guys. I can't even talk about him like we do any other player in this league right now because he's LeBron James. It pisses me off. It's like, it makes it hard for me to even make a video like this because I already know what the comment section is going to look like when 2289 isn't good enough. Like, bro, that's not the fucking point. You're missing the point. And the thing is, we can't even treat him like an actual NBA player, even though he's getting paid like one of the best NBA players in the world, and he's not playing nothing like it. Bro, you see this list of the worst plus minuses in the league. A bunch of Wizards players. Okay, the Wizards are the worst team in the league. They're on a 14-game losing streak. All right, you have Pelicans players. Okay, yeah, they're also pretty bad. Let's see here. Utah Jazz player, they're also a shit team. Chicago Bulls, they're not a good team. Jeremy Grant, Portland, they're not a good team. Caleb Martin, Philly, they're not a good team. Obi Toppin, Pacers, they also been slipping. Brandon Boston, Pelicans, again. LeBron James, Lakers. I think they're the only team, he's the only player in this list right now that is on a team that is actually above 500. It's like, bro, this is like, it shocked me when I saw that stat from Switch Out, but it's even worse than I thought because you have to go as far back as Julian Strawford at number 23 before you finally get to a player that is on a good team that has a bad plus minus, and that player is a bench player. LeBron's a starter playing starting minutes. I'm pretty sure he leads this group in minutes per game. Let's see here. Yeah, he does. He has the most minutes per game in his group, and obviously his plus minus is not reflecting that of a player that is impactful in this league. The sooner the Lakers front office realizes they need to move on from LeBron James, the better their situation will be. The sooner they stop deluding themselves with the fact that this dude's gonna have a run of triple doubles and the team's gonna be back up, folks, the better their situation's gonna be overall. Okay, maybe you want to profit off of the farewell tour, which is a reason why you would want to keep LeBron around. If that's what it is, well, good. Okay, you know what? Keep him around, have the farewell tour, and he can go on his way into the sunset. But that doesn't seem to be what the Lakers are trying to do. The fact that LeBron's usage has gone up is an indication to me that that's not what they're trying to do. They're not trying to get LeBron to have less touches in the game or to basically, play a lesser role now knowing that he's regressed. No, they're still basically playing him like he's the number one. They're still trying this Lakers team they're still trotting this Lakers team out to be LeBron's team. And that's why when Rashad McCann said what he said about LeBron, even though I don't like most of its takes, he's right. He has to step aside and let others play. Let the others take over. Instead, he's going to do an ill-advised three-pointer because, oh, he's LeBron. And if he misses it, you can't really get mad because it's LeBron James. He'll make them at some point, except when he doesn't. In that case, you're fucked. I mean, you just look at these numbers. It's actually sad, man. Like, this is not fun. Like, it sucks to see somebody you've watched so long, have to go through this. Obviously, this rough patch. It's inevitable. It happens to everyone. You're human, right? And that's the one thing, man. For so long, people have basically been deluded into thinking that LeBron is just like, he's not human, basically. So I know when people are going to click on this video, they're going to think, oh, I'm basically trying to say LeBron's washed. Even though he is, it doesn't mean that he's completely washed. Like, he can have a bunch of good games again. He'll probably go out and score 50 points in his final games. I won't be surprised if he does that. But I think the delusion that we all had that LeBron James could still carry a team and basically put them in the position to make a run in the playoffs, I think we have to let go of that delusion. It's over. I don't think LeBron could do that anymore. And I think it's okay for LeBron not to be able to do it. He's done it for so many years that really that's all that should matter at this point. And that's the big struggle with this, is because people are not going to care as much that LeBron is not playing to his up to par, because oh, he's old, he deserves to not get criticized because of how much his excellency has been able to perform. But I think if this guy is your favorite player, you got to criticize him because he's still playing the NBA, still getting paid the big bucks. We're looking at a per year basis. LeBron is top 10 in terms of contracts being given on a per year basis. I mean, come on, guys. Like, he's not playing anywhere close to a top 10 player right now. It has to be said. It has to be called out. And I think if you're a big fan of this dude, you're going to want to criticize him because you would want better from him and not really, make these excuses. And, basically it's weird. You're infantilizing him, even though the way you're infantilizing him is by saying he's too old, right? It's weird. But one thing I will agree with you guys with is AD needs to take the ball more. He needs to demand the ball. He needs to demand the hell out of the ball. And, if he doesn't do that, that's part of the reason why this team is going to implode. And let's be honest with ourselves. Part of the reason they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, peace out.